So real estate prices in Dubai have grown significantly in the past year, let's say 17.2% overall, with villas and townhouses seeing an even higher growth. Based on current trends, what are your predictions for the next 2 to 3 years? And do you expect this growth to continue? I know you did mention when we were talking about the oversupply, about the growth as well, but more in depth, I think, in terms of, you know, as an investor putting your money into the market now, what to expect in the next 2 to 3 years with prices?
Prices are going to go up. There is no shadow of a doubt on this, regardless of whether it is an apartment, townhouse or villas. It's going up on apartments for a clear reason. If you look at most of the launches this year, over 90% of the launches were apartments. Now, why would the developers launch something unless they believe there is a demand for it in the future? Not just for an investor, but 3-4 years later upon handover, there will be a demand for people who want to buy it or want to rent it. So we know that there's a clear demand. How do we know that? When 70% of the population is increasing, when you have 250,000 new residents every year coming in, these people need to rent. They need to stay. They can't sleep on the streets.
Of course.
Out of them, bulk of them, over 90 to 95% of them are going to own their first homes as apartments, or that's what they're going to rent. So that is the reason why all these launches are to take care of that. 1 million people will come in the next 4 years. So we will need the apartments at that point in time. Now, we had about 4.5% to 5% was the townhouses and about 2% were the villas. So villas are going up because there's an extreme shortage of villas and townhouses in Dubai. So the shortage of the units has bumped the prices up and created the demand. With the apartments, there's a sheer flow of people coming in, so we need to have the apartments for them. In addition, we have those who are renting who are looking at buying. These are the existing people in the city putting pressure on the system, apart from the people who are coming in. Holiday homes, again, these are going to become very popular. So yes, both of them, apartments as well as villas, are going to give very, very good returns and will continue to increase in prices. At this point in time, the villas are increasing slightly more than the apartments. Not because it's a better product, there's a bigger shortage in that area, which is fueling that price increase.
Well, there's a massive shortage, obviously, if there's only 2% of supply. But as we grow, you know, the population grows next year and plots are more expensive, do you feel that developers are going to stop building, you know, they're already stopping building so many villas, just because obviously if a plot is more expensive, the build cost, I don't know how it works with a developer, but soon enough over the next 2 to 3 years, would you advise, if you've got the money, buy a villa now or a townhouse now compared to an apartment, just because of the shortage in the future?
Yeah. Look, if you have a villa, or if you have the budget for it, the villa and the townhouse makes sense. Another reason for this is safety. We saw a spike in demand for villas post-COVID, because people wanted a bit more privacy. They did not want a high contact areas. When I'm in a tower, the number of people using the same elevators, the same lobbies, all of that is a challenge. But if it's a villa, I'm insulated to a large extent. So we saw the demand go up for these. So I think if you got the money, that's where you should be going. 1, because there's extreme shortage. 2, because the demand for these is making people pay more money up front. 3, in case of any pandemics or anything like that in the future, you have a better safety product that you can actually bring your family into it. So it's going to happen. But you will see more, even though the plot prices are going up. See, the plot price, let's look at a apartment and a villa. The plot area to create a tower is much lesser than that for a community of villas. And I can split the cost of that square foot area across 400, 500 units also.
Exactly.
And it has a higher contribution to the costs for the villas and townhouse, which is why the prices are higher. Those are low density residences. But that was the same even 5 years ago, when the plot cost was more affordable, it was still spread lesser per unit in a tower and more per unit in a community. When the plot goes up today, it will still be split lesser per unit here, but the price of each unit has gone up, and it will be split, it will be a bigger contributor for the villa communities. So that is the reason why I believe that the communities with villas will continue to launch, because they're going out into the desert. Remember the suburbs. That idea, suburb living, is going to be very big in Dubai in the future going forward. Third thing, how do some of the developers compensate for some of that cost? When you look at many of the communities now, they wouldn't be 100% villa communities. Some are exclusive, but many of them are giving you a combination of a few towers as well as a lot of villas and townhouses, so that they can spread some of the cost of that real estate, that plot, into multiple units. Okay. That's why you will see a combination. In most of the new communities that are launched, you'll have a combination of both. Certain communities will be very exclusive, high-end. They'll only go villas.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying that,
Yeah.
Dr. Menon.